Okay, I was watching SWC earlier, but this volume that was really low was having trouble getting through stuff. It did, spiked. We got a big sell bar into the trend. Saw it happen here also, but this was cool. Price actually held at these resistance levels, so this would have been an area to actually look for a buy on, but I just wasn't watching it. I need to train myself that if I'm gonna stick with one or two tickers, that's all I watch. And sometimes that can be the most difficult thing in the world. Think about actually shorting this. This is shortable on Thinkorswim, but there's some 925 buyers that just stepped in here. So we'll look for this to maybe get to a double top area and look for the ask to firm up. You can see on Thinkorswim, they do this by color. The more of the same blue color of the buyer is where it's weighted towards one or the other. It's crappy. And this was their upgrade. But all they did was they took the top bid and ask from here and put it on this top line. And I asked them if they could total all these bids and total all these asks. That would be a lot more relevant, but for some reason they call that an upgrade, and it's just the top two lines, which I've pretty much had it. But we'll watch this come back up to, if it makes it to 930, and see if we can see some weakness coming in and maybe put a short in. But I haven't bought anything. It's been kind of depressing just sitting here, but it's sometimes that's what you do. Stand by. It's about what time is it? 9:45, an hour and 45 minutes after the open. So we'll see how this plays out. Okay, we came back to that 9:30 area, and we're watching. There's a little bit of tug of war going on, but there's some few sells coming through, but we're still weighted toward the buy side on the bids. But if more sellers come in, we might try to ride some of this back down to the downside and see if this 920 level can get broken. But we're still weighted towards the bid, so stand by. There's a few sellers coming in, but damn it, this is a low volume stock. But we'll see what happens. So still some weakness after this large selling bar. Not much buying here at the top. There was during the run, but you can see the buying is leveled off right here. So we're still holding tight. If we can see some of these 927s getting taken out, then I'll probably go in. But right now we're just holding on. It's pretty even right now. It's been a pretty slow morning as far as going to the long side. And I took a day off at work to do nothing but sit here. Stand by. Okay, we went ahead and shorted this because those 26s got taken out. We're short 1,500 shares, and we're going to see if we can ride this down a little bit, at least to 920, to see what happens. So we would like for this 924 to get taken out first. Stand by. Okay, we're still short from 925. Had a few sellers show up. Bid's getting a little bit weak. Ask is firming up, so we'll see where we go from here. Okay, we're still in it. Some selling showed up, but we got a little ways to go. Bids look like they're getting a little weak, but not by much. Again, we're short from, where are we short from? 925, so we're right at our entry just about. If this could crack, stock's up almost 7.5%, which is pretty good. So we'll see if we can ride this to the downside somewhat. This is pretty boring, but that's the way it goes. We're still holding in at 925 on the short side. Little tug of war going on. Looks a little heavier towards the ask size to get rid of to get some sellers in there. Just a waiting game. Still got some selling going on. Let's see if we can, crack this 920 area, which would be groovy, like Brady Bunch. So glad this is edited for time. This is the problem with those low volume stocks. It can take forever to do something, and I know that's a bad thing to do. Follow what's moving, but this caught my eye. I missed this turn up, doing something else as usual, but it's all about keying in on a few tickers. I'd really like to see these 23s get taken out. Right now it's a tug of war. It's about 10:03. Hour and a half after the open, Volkswagen CEO got booted because they cheat. Everybody cheats. Can't trust anybody. Anyway, not everybody. So we might have some buying come in to push this up again, but we're going to hang tight and see what happens. Okay, I had to walk away to get some grub, so I put a stop in here because anything can happen. So we're back down to this 920 level. Thereabouts, and it's a tug of war. It looks like it's about even, so we'd like to see, nobody else is here except me and a cat that wants to walk across the keyboard. Anyway, if this cracks, looking back down to line 11, so we'll wait and see. It's 10:09 Central Time US. Sell. Okay, we had a nice crack that happened. We're up about a couple $100. Let's see, from 925, got in right around here at this level. So we might get back down to 9 or 905-ish, whatever. It'd be great if this thing just faded all day. I'll go back to the daily just to see where this thing was. Okay, and this thing came up pretty good bit on some kind of news, I forgot. So we're seeing this could give something back. Where's the price? 913 right here. I mean, again, this is the daily. So, it's just one of those things. We'll see what happens. Looks like it's still getting weak on the bid side. Hey, I'll take it. Stand by. We'll see how this plays out. If it starts coming back up, I'm not going to give any of this back. I might put the stop down in here, 917-ish. But we're up about 925 on 1,500 shares, about 15 cents already. So not already. Stand by. I'm going to stop stand by also. It's about 10:14. Okay, it's about 10:20 Central Time, and this thing's been hanging around 9:10 or so. And I am guessing that we might get some kind of pullback to the upside. And if this plays out, I know I've been talking about volume and continuation with the trend. And since this is shortable, if we do have a pullback, as long as it's not too much before it stops me out, I'm looking to, if this comes back up to 918, 919, I'm going to get out with something. But if we get a continuation up and the ask firming up for the sells to come back in, I might consider going in with 1,000 more shares or so to see if we can get down this down to 909 or the 910 area. 904 looks like this is a very, very congested area. Right now the bid and asks are kind of even, so we're not moving. There's been nothing but selling going on. If you're looking to buy on a pop, there's no reason to buy at all showing. So matter of fact, it looks like we're getting a little bit weaker. So that's good with me. Either way, we're just hanging out. Okay, this area might be a tough one to get through. Um, there is some, well, there was a 909 big buyer there that just went away. So we're still holding, but if this cracks, then I think, 906-ish will get hit. But I don't really see much telling me to get in. I mean, there is some selling, but they got to get hit. So we're still sticking tight, but if this comes back to 917-ish, then we're going to exit. I would like to tighten up right now, but just want to see if this thing gives. Okay, I've tightened this up to buy it back at 914 right here. I just think it's going to pop. I mean, if it doesn't, that's cool. But right now, nothing's going on. Of course, I'd like to see it sold. I don't see much buying going on at this level, but we're in a channel, and if it breaks, it could go pretty quick. There's been a few large bars, so I'm sure there's people watching this. It's up a pretty good bit, 50 cents. So just chilling. Okay, it's 10:35, and the ask was stacking up just a second ago. There were only about 4 market makers at 9:10 on the bid side. A few more came in. I know this is boring, but there's about 3 minutes total recording time left on this video, so probably save the last few on any major updates to the downside or towards the end of the day. This thing, I hope it just fades, of course, because I'm in short. So either way, right on. Okay, we got a little crack here, actually a pretty good crack, and happened pretty quick. Now we're looking to go back to 904-ish, maybe even 9 if this thing tanks even more. Great. Like to see it come back, 50% retracement, about 880s, but that might be asking for too much. But this happened in one order. We're still falling, so we're gonna probably keep this stop here and move it down to see how this bar reacts. Stay tuned. Okay, we moved our buy stop up to 910, just under this resistance level. That was a pretty big drop, and there's going to be some kind of reaction. This is a low volume stock, but from here, who knows what's going to happen. So at least I got 15 cents locked in. If it tanks again, I'll move this down. Otherwise, I got 2 minutes left in the video, so the next one will probably be a review lesson and take it from there. Okay, it's 11:07 Central Time, and the bids are really starting to firm up, so I brought the stop down a little bit more to about 909. These might get popped up, but we had a crack here. Thought we were going to crack down again, but things are holding. I put some notes on here so I don't have to talk about them later because there's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this video. Okay, it's about 11:30 Central Time, and we got stopped out. The bids were firming up during this bar. This is Central Time, about 11:20. I saw that they were getting heavy, so I moved the stop down a little bit to, I believe, 908. So I cleared about 17 cents from selling here. The news on this was just an analyst upgrade to $9. It wasn't a huge thing. I kind of didn't believe in this price, so I just let it do its thing, but I kept watching it. And so at the top, I noticed there was no buying volume coming in here, and so the ask was getting heavy. So I sold on this bar, thinking that if we broke this 930 level, I was going to be wrong and get out. But the ask was getting really heavy, so I just let this thing go, and it took a long time, 949 to 1115. That's a good bit, and that's why you follow stocks that aren't like this. You got to trade what's moving, as Tim says. But this caught my eye, and I started paying attention to it and just let things play out. And these couple volume bars, you see price continuing, but price never really sold off, so there was still strength there. But I just let it do its thing. I didn't want to buy because I didn't like the news. I mean, it was kind of boring. So either way, that's my 17 cent short. At least I put a video together. Thanks.